Veronica smile and a high heel pace. She's got the mic and a sharp-edged tongue, living out loud while the night is young. She doesn't care for the rules they make. She's got a reputation she's proud to stake. Independent rings and the blood on the mat. She's the queen of the booth, and that is that. Opinionated and she's dressed to kill. If the drama won't find her, then she surely will. They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. Then comes Tori with the calming hand, keeping the peace in a lawless land. She's the sugar to the salt, she's a steady heart, pulling her mother back before the fires start. She sees the comments and the trolls online, but she keeps her head up and her spirit fine. Host of the show where the indies bloom, she clears the air in a crowded room, protecting the legacy, guarding the name, while Veronica's busy fanning the flame.
They tried to silence me. They tried to intimidate and extort me. But what they didn't realize is I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'm gonna talk about everything that they don't want me to talk about. More raw, more attitude, more unsanctioned. New season of Pinfalls and Pixels coming soon. The Dark Era.
They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. And the biggest threat. Perseverance is the blood in their veins. They're pulling the triggers and holding the reins. Unstoppable force in a world full of noise. They're breaking the glass while they're making the choice to rise above every lie that was told, turning the bitterness into pure gold. They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is a fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and then they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. And the biggest threat. She walks in with a predator's grace, Veronica smile and a high heel pace. She's got the mic and a sharp-edged tongue, living out loud while the night is young. She doesn't care for the rules they make. She's got a reputation she's proud to stake. Independent rings and the blood on the mat. She's the queen of the booth, and that is that. Opinionated and she's dressed to kill. If the drama won't find her, then she surely will. They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't
tried to silence me. They tried to intimidate and extort me. But what they didn't realize is I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'm gonna talk about everything that they don't want me to talk about. More raw, more attitude, more unsanctioned. New season of Pinfalls and Pixels coming soon. The Dark Era.
They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. They're pulling the triggers and holding the reins. Unstoppable force in a world full of noise. They're breaking the glass while they're making the choice to rise above every lie that was told, turning the bitterness into pure gold. They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is a fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and then they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. And the biggest threat. She walks in with a predator's grace, Veronica's smile and a high heel pace. She's got the mic and a sharp-edged tongue, living out loud while the night is young. She doesn't care for the rules they make. She's got a reputation she's proud to stake. Independent rings and the blood on the mat. She's the queen of the booth, and that is that. Opinionated and she's dressed to kill. If the drama won't find her, then she surely will. They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. Then comes Tori with the calming hand, keeping the peace in a lawless land. She's the sugar to the salt, she's a steady heart, pulling her mother back before the fires start. She sees the comments and the trolls online, but she keeps her head up and her spirit fine. Host of the show where the indies bloom, she clears the air in a crowded room, protecting the legacy, guarding the name, while Veronica's busy fanning the flame.
They tried to silence me. They tried to intimidate and extort me. But what they didn't realize is I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'm gonna talk about everything that they don't want me to talk about. More raw, more attitude, more unsanctioned. New season of Pinfalls and Pixels coming soon. The Dark Era.
They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't believe triggers and holding the reins. Unstoppable force in a world full of noise. They're breaking the glass while they're making the choice to rise above every lie that was told, turning the bitterness into pure gold. They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is a fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and then they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. And the biggest threat. She walks in with a predator's grace, Veronica's smile and a high heel pace. She's got the mic and a sharp-edged tongue, living out loud while the night is young. She doesn't care for the rules they make. She's got a reputation she's proud to stake. Independent rings and the blood on the mat. She's the queen of the booth, and that is that. Opinionated and she's dressed to kill. If the drama won't find her, then she surely will. They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. Then comes Tori with the calming hand, keeping the peace in a lawless land. She's a sugar to the salt, she's a steady heart, pulling her mother back before the fires start. She sees the comments and the trolls online, but she keeps her head up and her spirit fine. Host of the show where the indies bloom, she clears the air in a crowded room, protecting the legacy, guarding the name, while Veronica's busy fanning the flame.
They tried to silence me. They tried to intimidate and extort me. But what they didn't realize is I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I'm gonna talk about everything that they don't want me to talk about. More raw, more attitude, more unsanctioned. New season of Pinfalls and Pixels coming soon. The Dark Era.
They are the Sloanes, the mother and the soul. Two different worlds under one control. One is the fire, one is the light. Together they're winning the toughest fight. They hear the whispers and they feel the hate, but they don't believe in a predetermined fate. You haven't seen anything, no, not yet. They're the safest bet and the biggest threat. And the biggest threat.
I know. Like I did the whole little head thing. I was late.
Shit.
I know. I knew I was gonna catch you because it is such a good, like, completely random theme that we found. But when, like, every time I'm editing, I'm just like, I'm bopping to him, like, let me get it out now so that when we're actually live, it doesn't slip. But I caught you. I saw you.
You did. I was jamming out. I'm so hyped up. The adrenaline is pumping. I am so ready to be here tonight. I see chat is already bumping. But hello, everybody, and welcome here to another all new episode of the Sloanes live exclusives on what? A Wednesday night?
Oh no, not a slam stories. Not a slam stories because we hit you all with a 180 is what just happened.
That's right, because when sometimes, okay, there are times in the wrestling industry when, what is it? Card is subject to change. And you know what? The Sloanes weren't any different, but there is a match happening this Saturday in Atmore, Alabama, a retirement match, nonetheless, which I am super hyped about talking about because it has to involve a brand new face to our platform, the black sheep of pro wrestling, Danny Rolin,
Indeed.
versus who?
The Bishop.
Say who?
The Bishop.
There you go. So there is so much to talk about because if you are not aware of who Danny Rolin is, which I confess, he's a new face to me as well. He claims to have a background that not only encompasses WWEF, I don't even know anymore, but ECW. He has been trained by one half of the Rock and Roll Express, so he says. And there is so much that we have to introduce to you tonight that my adrenaline has not stopped pumping for a week. Chat is pumping just the same. So, Tori, unzip the lip. Let's go to chat. What are they talking about?
I gotta spin a chat because chat has been blowing up since the moment we got here. I mean, I hit live. They were looking at that package going on. I mean, chat was already here. Our wonderful Eric MacArthur is in here. Hi, Veronica Tori. I can't wait to see Danny and the Bishop to come on here. This is going to be a great live stream. I hate the fact that the service we're using is not letting me see what AK Mario Mancini is dropping in our chat.
Oh, Mario!
He came in here and dropped like 5 different ones, but I can't see what it is because it gave me blank. But it didn't do it just to him. Rochelle is in here saying, "Hey gals, hello, welcome in, welcome in." And then we had a bunch of more people joining us in here. Eric MacArthur saying, "You ladies look very beautiful." Not only do we have the Eric in our chat, but we have Doug Law saying, "Damn, y'all look great tonight. Good evening, my beautiful ladies." Hello,
Hello,
welcome.
Doug. That's our Doug.
We've got Eric MacArthur saying, "I'm hyped." See, once again, they gave me a blank space for Darnell Reed, but he came in here saying, "Hello, ladies. Hello.
Hey, Darnell.
Welcome to the chaos." And then Eric said, "This sounds exciting to hear about Danny joining the live stream." Indeed.
So are we.
It's gonna be
goodness.
Oh, hold on, I'm not done. I scrolled down and there was more. Hold on. Eric is saying again, we are all excited. Mario Mancini's in here saying, "Good evening, ladies. It's Mario Mancini. We know who you are."
We know who you are. Oh my gosh.
He dropped it in the hi. Jacob Wells is in our chat saying, "Hello, my loves. Hello."
There's my boo.
Mwah to all of you guys. Like I said, chat is going insane. They haven't slowed down once. It sounds like I'm going to be staying pretty busy for tonight's episode.
Then let's do it. Let's stay busy. I am super hyped. I am so ready. You guys know I love bringing you new faces, and that is exactly what we're going to do. So believe me, we're going to have Danny. We're going to have the Bishop. They're going to be on here. They're going to be gearing up, confronting each other, getting ready for this match. But I'm not doing any of that until I get to know the man himself, the black sheep, Danny Rolin. I say, Tori, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let me scoot us on over and let's add this gentleman onto our stage.
And there he is. Hello, sir.
doing,
How are
ladies?
you?
Doing good. How are y'all doing tonight?
You know what? I personally couldn't be better because here it is on a Wednesday night, and Tori and I are doing what we do best. We are here talking about some wrestling.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm glad I got to get on the show. It's pretty neat. This is really my first real podcast I've ever done. So it's pretty
Really?
neat. I mean, I've kind of, I don't do a lot of this stuff. I kind of stay behind the scenes and
Yeah.
do my own thing. So yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, you're new to my viewers. You're new to both Tori and I, which makes it all that exciting. So I'm going to take a second before we bring the bishop on. I know everybody's excited to talk about this upcoming match this Saturday at the car show. But first and foremost, I want to talk about you. So let's talk about this retirement match, but let's take it all the way back, sir. Let's talk about when it first started. And before we do that, Tori, you have the image of the what does Veronica love the most? The tail of the tape. So this Saturday in Atmore, Alabama, we have the Black Sheep, Danny Rolin, versus the Bishop. So before we get into what Danny Rolin is, go ahead and show me that image. I'm sure I'm going to flash it up a few more times, but show me right now. What are we looking up against? Tori, read it to me, baby.
I mean, we've got it all. I mean, if you look, there's some aspects that they are very similar, to say the least. Like, let's take a look at Danny's weight. You've got 290 pounds, while Bishop is sitting at 345. They're getting similar. Look at the height.
That's a little bit of a weight difference there. I'd be scared to be fucking pile drive by that, but okay.
Exactly. But I feel like what equals it out is, I mean, look at the height. You're not going to be coming in here with one man who's a few feet taller. No, you're coming out with almost eye level, because you've got the Bishop sitting at 6'3", while Danny's sitting at 6'2" in height. So, yes, it's there, but, I mean, when you look in the ring, you're going to see the muscle comparison. You're going to see no more height, but more or less the build. Let's look at the hometowns. We're looking at the Bishop coming from Memphis, Tennessee. Well, we've got Danny coming all the way from over here from Pensacola, Florida. Two different sides. They may bring two different styles to the table when these two gentlemen step into that ring. And now let's look at trainers. Like we mentioned in the beginning half, Veronica, Danny is trained by Robert Gibson. But now if we look over at Bishop, he is a little bit well-rounded, because he's sitting there with 4 different trainers who have stepped in there, like Scott Armstrong, Marcus Gibbs, Steve Evans, and Chris I don't know how to say that. I was one editing that I wasn't positive. I will be honest. Y'all know me.
I love your honesty.
I will be completely honest, because even what's happening, I'm like, don't know. But once again, you have maybe an aspect where maybe Bishop, yes, he's newer to the game, because you look that his debut date is 2024 and Danny is sitting at 1997. But, I mean, you never know with age and the beginnings of this career that they took place, how that might affect also the matchup. So there was a lot at the table, some similarities, some differences. I think overall, whenever these both gentlemen are in that ring, I think it's going to cause quite the explosive confrontation.
I agree, which makes me the inquisitive individual that I am. So, Danny, let's talk about it. Let's go back. You say that you have been trained by one half of the Rock and Roll Express. When did your training begin? What year?
So let me back it up to like 95.
Okay.
I'm a Pensacola boy, and a lot of wrestlers are from Pensacola. You have a lot of guys like the Samoans. They lived here. But so if you remember Texas Championship Wrestling, the Von Erichs, all that. So a mentor of mine as a young kid, I was about 13 or 14 years old, Hollywood John Tatum. You ladies probably have heard of Missy Hyatt and Rod Price, the Hollywood Blondes, from back in the late 80s, early 90s. I went to him to ask I wanted his guidance on who would be good to train me.
Okay.
And I had a lot of opportunities, and it just so happened one of them was Robert Gibson. He was moving from Tennessee to Mobile, Alabama, and was going to open a school right there in Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
So in '96, Robert started this school at the fairgrounds in Pensacola, and I was
The name
one
of
of the
that
first
school is
original
what, sir?
students. What's that?
What is the name of the school, please?
It was All Pro Championship Wrestling.
Mhm.
So anyway, Robert opened the school, and it's always been All Pro Championship Wrestling. Anywhere he went, it's always been All Pro Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
But he opened this school, and that's where it started, right there in the Pensacola Fairgrounds.
All right. And you trained with him how long?
Oh, for over a year before I even got my first match. Nowadays, these kids get, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks worth of training, and they call themselves wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? So it's
do.
a different
I
game
do.
back then. I mean, so when I got in it, Smoky Mountain Wrestling was shutting down. There was hints in there. There was still kind of a territory part of it in the about mid 90s, late 90s. There was still kind of a territory. You didn't step on people's toes.
Okay.
You still had respect for somewhat, guys didn't just come in, usually 200 miles from your vineyard. They wouldn't come in that area just out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Now
Yeah.
everybody finds out you're drawing 200 people at the local VFW, and for the next couple of weeks you're fighting bookings. Everybody's wanting to come in there and use that whole setup. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's kind of crazy.
All right. And so we have a prominent trainer, such as one half of the Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah.
And
So
what?
when I would tell you, when I was training, guys that were coming in the business, Robert was training, like Eddie Fatu, Amanga. I trained with him, and I had many matches before he got to where he was in the WWE with these. It's like Robert had his hands on a lot of talent that came through that territory.
Okay. And it's my understanding that you also claim that you have done a stunt with WWE. So were you a part of their developmental?
No, I didn't do a developmental thing. So Michael Hayes. So if you go back and look at Hollywood John Tatum,
Yes.
Hollywood John Tatum and Michael Hayes were not brothers, but they grew up together in Pensacola.
Okay.
And so Michael, and then you said something about the Bishop being trained by Scotty. He's a dear friend of mine. But Michael helped me get in the door. Guys like Teddy Long, guys I worked on independents with, they kind of gave me an opportunity to showcase myself from time to time, help out new talent, try to grow new talent and stuff like that, working different individuals. You know what I'm saying?
And you did this where? Okay, so if you weren't a part of WWE's developmental, and you weren't a part of their roster, then where did all of this start?
I was never part of the roster. I did a lot of independent work for them. They would bring me in, like I would work in Atlanta or Birmingham or Gulfport, Mississippi, or just within 6-7 hours of where I lived at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were never officially a part of WWE.
No, I was never. I got paid by them per show. Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, when they came to the towns or your town or surrounding towns, you were one of the local guys that came in for squash matches?
Yeah. No, not a squash match. That WWE, so that squash match is kind of used a little loosely. If they thought they could get help with talent, they would bring you in and work with you and work with somebody else. They wouldn't just beat you outright. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A squash match to me is just going in, just jobbing somebody out. They would never do that. Not if you had talent. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to take just a quick break, only because I do see Mario Mancini is in chat. So Tori, what's going on in chat really fast?
Yeah, let me slightly catch up before I go ahead and spin it because this is actually a question. Just a lot of
sweet.
people were going ahead and just, getting excited that we brought him out. When they were looking at the tail of the tape, they were looking at King Kong versus Godzilla monster mash. They were taken by, looking at the comparisons and looking at the differences. And then that was kind of what the chat was kind of going into, guessing upon. And then let me go ahead and catch up. So then Mario Mancini came in here saying, did he job house shows? That's his question. And he said, yes, I had no talent, is what Mario Mancini just said. But that was his question. Did he job house shows?
Okay, there you go. Mr. Rollins, please answer Mr. Mancini.
Yeah, what I did, I guess you could use, I jobbed house shows, but I did a lot of stuff, there was like, we do Raw tapings. Back then they had a SmackDown was taped on Tuesday nights. So,
Okay.
If I do it Monday and Tuesday, that kind of thing. Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, because we like I said, you and I try to get to know each other a little bit before you came on the show. And you mentioned people as much as Bagwell and Humongous, which I have to ask. Okay, I know when it comes to this show, I definitely try to keep kayfabe as best as possible.
Oh, okay.
But when you took on Humongous, who was under the mask? Who was it?
What was the question?
When you took
Lord
on
Humongous, it was Jeff.
Who was under
Lord
the mask?
So the original Lord Humongous was Jeff Van Camp. He's a dear friend of mine right now. He lives down in South Florida.
Okay.
Jeff was the original Lord Humongous, and I think after Jeff, Sid Vicious came. So
yeah, but who did you fight when it was under the mask?
What's that?
Who was under the mask when you took him on?
Jeff Van Camp.
Okay.
Jeff Van Camp, yeah, he was, and he was one of Jeff was one of Jerry Lawler's students.
Yeah,
that's who trained Jeff. Yeah.
Excellent. And no, go ahead. Sorry, my apologies. No,
I was
go ahead.
in the chat because I had some questions going and referring to what we were just now talking about and discussing.
Okay.
So I thought it would make perfect sense. They were saying that's cool about the Raw tapes. And then Mario Mancini asked, so did you ever do any TV? And then he was going and asking about what you just brought up, asking, what year was that? Is that on YouTube? It sounds like you have piqued a little bit of interest in the Mario Mancini.
So I never, so I was there from like 98 and worked with them till about 2001. I never did it. They called them dark matches. So you never hardly ever, some of them were recorded for later, but mine was never recorded. I worked the Cajun Dome in Lafayette. I worked Birmingham. Like I said, I worked around like Gulfport, Mississippi. I worked Birmingham, Atlanta, the Omni, them kind of places. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very cool. Well, I
feel like I'm yelling for some reason. Does it sound like I'm yelling?
No, I always feel like I'm yelling. I think it's the adrenaline. I think it's wrestling. Yeah. Wrestling does that. Yeah. We get so excited over wrestling. Yeah. We're like, yeah.
You're not yelling at all. It just makes sure that the audio is running clear through all of the different streaming places. So actually, it's almost better when you feel like you're yelling rather than you're whispering. So
yeah, we know we can hear you.
Yeah, well, thank you. I just felt like I was yelling there for a second.
No,
man, I feel like I'm yelling.
No, you're doing absolutely amazing. Everyone can hear you loud and clear. So no, you're probably tired of me messaging it to you, but you are perfection.
No. I kind of been nervous because, like I said, I've always wanted to do a podcast. Okay. I just never really had time to stop and do one. And you're the first real podcast I've been on. I've talked a lot. I've done a few things for a few minutes, but this is the first real podcast I've ever been a part of.
Well, that kind of makes me feel honored. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Tori, get taught. Mario is going off, so Tori, do it before because Mario, he's my guest. But go ahead.
Mario is like taking over this interview. It's like you would have thought it was Mario and Danny right now, going back and forth as if we had him front and center. Eric had said 1998 to 2001. That was a good few years, Danny. Talking about that year. And then Mario was going ahead and saying, I did a dark match with Playboy Buddy Rose. It's on YouTube. He was, go ahead and talk about what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I
Playboy
was
Buddy
so
Rose.
sad because normally when we introduce new faces, I'm able to show video footage, and I was getting so mad because I'm not gonna lie, I want to see you in action, son.
Well, I'll send you some links. I mean, it's out there. My wife and kids, they constantly show me all of it. It's pretty funny. It's
That's
I
their
look
job,
at it, I'm
though,
like,
honey.
yeah. So it's pretty cool. I stay in contact. Like Robert's like a father to me. So
Okay.
he calls me. This week they were in Las Vegas doing the WrestleMania thing for a toy company.
Right.
I still have friends. I walked away from wrestling in general because I was dealing with some stuff in my life, and I just didn't feel like I could give it 100% like I was giving it. So I just kind of walked away from some things. You know what I'm saying? Put some things down
You're
and
human.
try to revisit them. I opened up a school in 2017 where I had guys like Bagwell come in and give it credibility. I could see some videos. Robert Gibson, them guys, and then COVID hit, and it just kind of took the wind out of everything. You know what I'm saying? So for a couple of years there, wrestling took a while to build back to where it's at today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just got out of it.
All right, Mario and all them. Before you even get to it, I've got so many because you have passed with Road Dogg and even with
Brian
Bagwell,
James,
which I think is funny because Bagwell was so controversial when it came to WWF.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a big thing. Yeah,
it really was. And even Road Dogg recently, with him stepping out, again, controversy, but there's nothing that Veronica loves more than controversy. So, of course, you brought my attention to it. But I was going to ask you why you stepped away, but I do understand that because you, just like anybody else, you're a human being. And sometimes our personal lives they step forward, and I absolutely can respect the fact that you.
Well, I mean, I'll be glad. I'll be glad to tell you. I mean, I went through a divorce, and I just didn't want that influence of my buddies. So I just cut everybody off and just disappeared. Went into I went into law enforcement for a little while. Dabbled in the oil field for a minute, and I found my way back to where my roots were. You know what I'm saying here.
Well, and that's just it. Even though as an individual, we have to find a break. I think all of us eventually come back to our calling. We come back to what we are the most passionate about, which has me so excited to find out that you did return, and you returned to the independent circuit because you did tell me that you have gone ahead and you have worked among a plethora of those. And I do want to talk about that because even though we give a lot of love to WWE, WWF, ECW, which you've also said that you've been able to, to work with. And for us, Tori, I'm sure you agree, the heart and soul is in the independent circuit. Am I wrong?
Oh, independence is, to me, is where you find out if you're even really cut for this business. I tell people that get in this business, wrestling is the only business that I know that you can give, and it'll take. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to describe it. And if you're not at the end of every, most people have jobs working the independent circuit. If you end up with any money in your pocket on Sunday morning, you're not doing it right. You should be dead broke. You know what I'm saying? Giving everything you got, So that's how I feel about it. I mean, you're always having to up your gear, staying fit. There's gym dues. There's always ring time. There's so much going on. And see, when I got in the business, and this Mario, I'm sure he'll agree with this, we didn't have social media. Social media was a newspaper or a poster on a power pole. You know what I'm saying? That's all you had, or in a 7-Eleven window. You know, that's all we had. And
It took
you know,
work,
if you,
a lot more
yeah,
work than what it does today, because
oh yeah,
news definitely did not spread as quickly as it did. I mean, it still spread. And sometimes I wonder today, at being almost 44 years old, how we were able to spread things as quickly as we were back then, because now it's instant.
oh yeah. Now, you know, back in the day, we used to joke about you wanted something to get around fast, you telegram, telephone, or tell a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, you know. So yeah.
I love it. Tori, go ahead and take a break. Catch up and chat. I see it. Danny, you have gotten a rouse out of my crowd. You have got to be the perfect guest, sir.
Appreciate it.
You have spiked this chat 100%. They're like so into it, you know. You've got like more people coming in with the questions about it, like Doug Law.
Give it to us.
What was the atmosphere like backstage during from 1998 to 2000s?
Man, so when I got there, I had guys that I'd already worked for, like Teddy Long. You know, he lived in right around Atlanta, Georgia. So I did a lot of shows in Atlanta. So Teddy was super cool. It's a lot of more ribbing. You could rib one another back then, you know what I'm saying, and joke with somebody. And if they liked you, they ribbed with you a lot, you know. Nowadays,
people are oversensitive.
So wishy-washy, you know. It's sensitive. Yeah, sensitive is the word. You kind of rib with somebody, and like one of the ribs that was big time back then was you can meet a guy 400 times, and he would say, "What's your name again? What's your name again?" And it just get underneath your skin, you know. And you think, "Man, I know this guy knows me. I've done shook his hand 400 times." And then come to find out he's ribbing you the whole time, you know, and you're like, God, dog, man, here I am going to these places, and every time I see him, he don't know me, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then, you know, guys like Ricky Morton would, he would come in, and if you had to wrestle him, he would be like, who are you working tonight, Danny? And I'd be like, I'm working you. And he was like, man, I must have heat with the office. You know, I must have heat with the office. Just funny stuff back then. I mean, now it's not even, I don't even know what the locker rooms are like, but I know they're not like that. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It was a true brotherhood. You was a brother. You know, now guys show up and they're just trying to get themselves over instead of getting the show over.
That's true.
You know,
that is very true.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you're working for a company, and the whole point is to get that company over. Yes, you need to be a part of it, and you want to do your part. It's just like any team you're a part of. If you sit there on the sidelines and all you do is with your head down, you never put no effort into it, you know, you're part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? You're not part of the solution, you know?
And I love that you're saying that, because
Yeah.
I will get in here. You can ask Tori time and time again that today's locker rooms, and we have been in a few of them, they absolutely disgust us. And we're not even in the industry. We're just interviewers. We're just podcasters. But we cannot believe the fallacies that are portrayed to make everybody else believe that locker rooms today are welcoming, because they most certainly are not.
No. I mean, there's so much going on with and not just the wrestling business, but in society itself.
Yeah. In the podcasting world as well.
Yeah. So it's to me, it's you don't know. You know, especially them guys up. Independence is fine. You can lose a job in independence and go find another independent show. There's so many of them running. But when you get to where you want to be at, you can lose that job so fast by doing something so stupid that you just think is funny as a rib. I mean, hazing is a different word that we wouldn't even use that. I mean, it was some kind of a hazing when you picked on, you know what I'm saying, in the locker room, but it wasn't. You know, nowadays, so many people are so, I don't know what the word is. It's not sensitive, but they've been so umbrellaed by their people that they don't know how real people react or do. You know what I'm saying?
They get they get that safety in their comfort zone, and then when new talent comes in, it gets exposed. And that is what we are here today to do. We are here to make sure that they continue to be exposed, because the change is unnecessary. The change isn't needed. We need to go back to old school. And before we continue talking, Tori, chat is popping. Danny, I don't know what you did to my chat, honey bunny, but I love it.
You broke it, Danny. You broke them. Okay, you broke them, and you're making me gotta work 10 times harder tonight. Okay, but I love it. I love to see it. Like right now, when you guys are just now talking about that brotherhood, that different kind, it's not the same atmosphere. This Christopher Holsinger came in here. Those are the type of guys I don't book. Only brotherhood here. So that, see, even him coming from someone who does do the booking, he's looking.
I was going to say, you said booking. Who are you?
Yeah, he's looking at it as he has his limits. He only looks for that positive side, the people who can handle it. Let me go ahead and catch up here while he comes back. Our Mark McGee is joining us. Good evening, ladies and Danny. Welcome in, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Let's see. We had Mario in here saying, I'm just very interested. When we were talking about how he is stealing our guest, he came back, I'm just very interested with guys that were in the WWE. That he was wondering, you know, he went ahead and he had said, like, for example, down here, well, I broke in 1984 when I was 18, talking about a little bit of his experience. And
please, I love when Mario shares his experience.
So Mario, he seems like an old hand. When I got in the business, I got to wrestle guys like, and he might know some of these guys, Ken Lucas, Darn Fargo, of course, Bullet Bob Armstrong, Cowboy Bob Kelly. I wrestled as a Fuller for a long time. The Tennessee Stud was hot here in Pensacola. The Stud stable back in the day. If you watched any wrestling, you would know them cats. Colonel Parker, that's the same guy. He was actually Steve Austin's manager in WCW. He always wore the Colonel Parker suit. So there was, I've got, being on the Gulf Coast, I feel like, I know wrestling has been around for a long time, but I feel like Gulf Coast is like where the history of wrestling began. You know what I'm saying? With everybody living
that.
here.
It still resonates there.
Yeah. But I mean, you still have your top stars, like in the Midwest, you had big guys, but I growing up here, it's just the talent pool here was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody worked for Florida Championship Wrestling or Gulf Coast Championship Wrestling or Continental. Before WCW, AWA was big up north, but it was around before that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And I have to interject here. I'm sorry, Troy. I know we were talking about chat, but he brought it up, so that reminded me. One of the names that you said that you wrestled under was Bobby Fuller Jr., the son of the Tennessee Stud. Now, I do believe there was a professional wrestler who was actually on the main roster that did the same thing. So tell me the correlation as to why you did the same thing with piggybacking.
So I didn't piggyback. What happened was I just started working with Continental. They had a reunion shows. I had a bunch of them. And the lady that was putting the shows on was Linda Mark. Her name was that was her real name, Linda Marks. Okay. And her maiden name was Keebler, but as a young girl, she worked in the office with Continental Championship Wrestling. So as she got older, she found her way back to wrestling like, some of us do. And she started running Continental reunions. Well, back then, her and Robert Fuller were good friends. And I had wrestled a guy named Kenny Wayne. I don't know if you ever heard of the Nightmares, but I had wrestled a guy named Kenny Wayne. And I didn't have no clue what was going on. But that night we was in a hotel room and Robert Fuller called me down to his room with him and his wife and told me, from now on, I want you to go by Bobby Fuller Jr. Now, there was a Bobby Fuller, but there was not a Bobby Fuller Jr.
No, because it was Robert Fuller Jr., who was the son of the Tennessee Stud, Ron Fuller.
Ron Fuller, yeah. So Bobby Fuller, I was the son of Robert Fuller. And
So
only-
not the Tennessee Stud then, because the Tennessee Stud was wrong.
he took, yeah, Ron was the Tennessee Stud, but Robert took the Tennessee Stud when Ron stepped away.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't necessarily the
Yeah.
real Tennessee Stud.
The original, no.
A knockoff.
Yeah, so Robert, they're brothers. Robert and Ron were brothers. Robert Fuller and Ron
So there's
Fuller
two
were brothers.
studs?
Yeah, there's two studs, yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay.
So Ron walked away from the wrestling business, invested his money and time in different things. Robert kind of stepped in his brother's shoes and became the Tennessee Stud. But with that being said, Robert Gibson, one half of the Rock and Roll Express, was a junior too. He kind of took on some shows, and Robert called him his son.
Well, because Robert Fuller Jr. and the actual Robert Fuller Jr. And Robert Gibson, yes, they were known to have many rivalries.
Yeah, they had many a times, but a lot of people didn't know that. Even on the independent circuit,
I know that.
we still goofed off. They still goofed off and changed gimmicks up a lot. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, that it was interesting to do that. I also wrestled as a Tatum.
I heard that. Dangerous Danny Tatum.
Yeah, Dangerous Danny Tatum, Hollywood John Tatum, the product of Missy Hyatt and John Hollywood John Tatum. You know what I'm saying?
So was that similar to not necessarily being an immediate correlation, but maybe I feel like I'm playing the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. If that makes sense.
Well, here's what I looked at it this way. It was a privilege to be able to have somebody give you their name to you.
Oh yeah, it is.
That you were good enough. Yeah, you were good enough, and you know, that's how I felt about it. I mean, did I want to change gimmicks every time I went somewhere in Mississippi or Louisiana or North Alabama or Atlanta, Georgia or North Carolina, South Carolina? I didn't want to do all that, but you know, when somebody gives you a name, you go with it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, in the business, you're growing. So, you know, it's like earlier when y'all first started talking about Bishop was trained by Scott Armstrong.
Right.
Well, Scott Armstrong was my second match, and being a Fuller, we fought the Armstrongs every weekend. You know what I'm saying?
What year was that, by the way? Because I only know Armstrong as being a referee once he got to WWF. So you knew him when he was a part of WCW.
Yeah, so it was funny when I first started training with Robert. Y'all know a guy named Roy Jones Jr.? He's a boxer. Roy Jones was a boss man of mine and a dear friend. I worked for him for a company cleaning carpets when I was 18, 19 years old. And I was doing a job for him in Gulf Breeze, Florida. And it was right across the street from Steve and Scott Armstrong's house.
Okay.
And I walked over there. They had the hood on. They were kayfabing and everything. And it's like the moment they knew I was being trained by Robert, they just took me under their wings. They took the hoods off and they were like, "Come here, kid," you know. So, but my second match was against Scott Armstrong, and he validated a lot.
What year was that?
That was 96, 97. So yeah,
I was going to say, but you debuted in 97. So how did you fight 96?
When I first started training with Robert in 96, I trained for a solid year, but I met them before I actually started wrestling.
Gotcha.
I was working a shoot job. That's what they call it, a shoot job. And Scotty was super kick Scott Armstrong.
Yeah.
You know, and then Stevie at the time, he was the Southern Boys, and they tagged that him and Tracy Smothers, which that's how I landed doing some stuff for ECW, was because of Tracy.
Okay.
Because Tracy was the trainer at one time.
Got it.
So yeah.
Excellent. I'm telling you, it's a beefy history, and I love all of it. All of it makes me so freaking excited. I could sit here and talk to you for hours.
Yeah, well, the talent back then, you got your hands, you know, you had your hands, a lot of people had their hands on you. Yeah. Now that talent is just about dead, and you're having to learn from a third or fourth generation of knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
Makes sense. Let me go ahead and spin to chat super fast, guys.
Go ahead, because we got to get to this retirement match. He is putting his boots on again, and I got to dig into it. Let's
I
go.
know,
All right.
and
Go ahead, Tori. Take it
and
away. She's
even
rude like
Eric
this,
is
Danny. I'm
in here.
sorry.
Look, even Eric is in here. The chat is going wild tonight. I know it's almost like hard to keep up with. There is so much going
Well,
on.
we're gonna make Danny part of the original Sloanes roster here because I've never seen chat go this freaking crazy in my
Well,
life.
thank you guys. I love to come back.
It's insane here. I mean, like Darnell Reed, whenever you were talking about the different places, he was talking about how he's in Peoria, Illinois, and that he's an indie wrestler over there known as Apocalypse. And because he was going ahead and he was talking about, needing some of this influence over there in Peoria and, need to bring that over there and how to get you there. And he was talking about how Tracy Smoothers was one of his trainers when go ahead and bringing it up. We had our DJ Eric popped in our chat. Just wanted to pop in and say hello, you two lovely ladies. I hope to see you this weekend at the Hooligan Show. XOXO.
You know I can't be there. Quit teasing me with wrestling when I have to work.
I know, he's teasing, but we love to see you in our chat,
We
Eric.
love you anyway, Eric.
Then he was dropping in saying, I loved the Nightmares, Nightmare Ken Wayne and Nightmare Danny Davis.
See? Yeah.
You came in here, you pulled his attention. Christopher Holsinger came in here a little bit ago saying other companies, it's nothing like it was in the late 90s. When I wrestled, every locker room was 100% brotherhood, no matter the locker room or company. Yeah. Saying Midwest here, where he's at, old school mentality still thrives there. See, that's where he seems to be pushing and thriving for that. Exactly. Oh, I love it. The CCC, Darnell saying that Cupperly was my trainer at OVW. Eric saying, let's get to the retired match. DJ Eric is saying, wishing you had the best of luck in your retirement. I miss Tracy, and he was one of the best to ask for advice.
Tracy, I love Tracy. Tracy was one of my favorites. I mean, he was a conspiracy theory too. So you can only imagine what kind of crazy stuff he talked about, but I loved him so much. And I'm telling you, we were in bar fights together, which I don't think any of the guys nowadays could handle the bar fight. You know what I'm saying? It was back when liquor was liquor and beer was beer. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now everybody's got a fruity drink. I just ain't got nothing. It's just
sitting there with their hurricanes.
Yeah, hurricanes, yeah, whale tails and all this other Kool-Aid. So yeah.
And then a little bit earlier on, I didn't get to this. We catch up. Mario had said, not in the WWE, there was Dangerous Danny Davis. So he's going ahead and he was saying that he was aware of a Dangerous Danny Davis. I don't think he was aware of the Dangerous Danny Tatum.
Danny Tatum. Yeah.
Yep. Let me catch up. Eric saying, I want to hear that retirement match that Danny has to say. Darnell said, we love you, Tracy. Rest in peace. And DJ Eric saying Tracy could cause a riot and then hug everyone afterwards. I'm caught up.
Tracy Smothers, if you didn't know Tracy, it wasn't nothing. He would start a riot in a heartbeat. He was like, hey, the next time I hear Tracy go home, I'm going to lock the doors and everybody's dying. You know what I'm saying? It was hilarious. Yeah, I loved him so much.
Oh,
good. All right. So I think they're right. I mean, I literally, Danny, I could sit here and talk to you for hours. We're probably going to book you again just so that I can. But let's talk about it. This Saturday, you're lacing up the boots. You're going to go ahead. You're taking on one last match, and you have chosen the Bishop. This gentleman is backstage. He is no stranger to my viewers whatsoever. He has been an absolute dear friend of ours. He has been on our show. I've been on his show. And I think, Tori, let's do it.
We'll do it.
I feel like I may need to duck and cover, and you may need to take me out of here, but we're going to put both of these guys on screen. I'm not sure how smart that is, but we're going to do it because that's what the Sloanes do.
Okay, I know it's going to be crazy. I mean, let's, rearrange everyone here. Let's
put them next to each other because I don't want to be near any of that.
I know, that's why we put them down there. We're going to put them down there and so that, we're away from the crossfire. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring Bishop in, and then I have to step out. I'll be right back. I promise. Okay.
All right, go ahead. You better come back. I'm not
I
trying to see
will.
you now. I'm
So
alone. Shit.
I know you
All
need to
right.
be careful. You ready? I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Goodness gracious. Goodness.
Hi,
It's
Bishop.
about time. It's about time you bring the star onto the show.
Oh,
The star.
It's about time you brought the star onto the show. Danny, I've been watching you, and you're talking about some of the legends that you were trained by and that you wrestled. And I have, if nobody else has respect for the legends, I do. I was born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee, so I saw guys like the Armstrongs and Tracy Smothers and Danny Davis, and the Moondogs and Jerry Lawler. I've seen all those guys, but your past has nothing to do with what's going to come to you Saturday. You got to deal with 6'3", 345, sir. I'm not.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not coming to play games. I'm not coming to play checkers. I'm coming to play chess. And I promise you, when you get into the ring and you stand across from me, I'm unlike anybody you've ever played.
Well, let me ask. Hey, Bishop, I'm glad you brought up the word chess, because here's the deal, buddy. Everybody knows that a bishop ain't the king. So in chess, a bishop will get you knocked down quick.
Yeah, but a bishop.
All right, but you know what? You know who trumps everybody else? The queen. And that's exactly what I'm about to do. So hush your mouth for just a minute. And I do have a question, sirs. Danny, you have a background that that stacks. But he has got some weight and some animosity that stacks just the same. So tell me, sir, how are you preparing this? What is it from your past that is allowing so much confidence when you have to go up against a man who, yes, is comparable in height, but certainly not in weight and force? How do you approach such a scenario?
Well, first of all, I'm not taking the bishop lightly by any means. I met the guy probably about 2 years ago at a training facility, and I saw potential in his whole deal, and I think he's gonna give me a run for his money. Problem is I noticed that when guys get in the business with a few years underneath their belt, they overlook experience.
Okay.
Experience goes a long ways in this wrestling business. Knowing where the four corners are, knowing where the boundaries are, knowing how to use inside the ring knowledge and outside the ring knowledge. And it's just, I'm not saying that by far that I'm going to win this last match, but I will tell you what I bring to the table is experience and knowledge.
So let me ask you, Bishop, you come at this with your adrenaline and your fresh set of eyes. But how do you use that against Mr. Rolin's methodical approach?
Well, see, the thing is, first thing he said, I don't discount his experience. I don't, because I didn't live to be my age by being stupid. I don't discount his experience at all. But what he's discounting is the fact that I have nothing to lose. And a man who has nothing to lose is a very dangerous individual. If I lose to Danny, then people will say, well, you lost to a 20-some year veteran. But if Danny loses to me, he's lost to a greenhorn rookie. So you got to look at it like that. It doesn't matter. I mean, I value his experience. And when I get in the ring with him, I'm going to take notes, mental notes. So I won't make the same mistake with the next big guy that I wrestle. See, the thing is, I have nothing to lose, and I'm gonna come balls to the wall, 110% out the gate. Because, like I said, if I lose, then oh well, I lost to a 20-some year veteran. But if I win, that's a big, pretty feather in my cap that I can put on my resume and say, hey, I beat the black sheep. I beat Danny Rolin.
And you know what? That's a very valid point. So, Mr. Rolin, when you chose the Bishop as your competition when it came to your retirement match, What do you say to those people that said, with somebody that has such a stature when it comes to your background, why pick somebody so green? You would think if you were going to go out with your retirement match, it would be somebody that was going to pose more of a fight than somebody that he was, that you have chosen. And I'm going to go ahead and let you answer that, Tori. That is a question that I am expecting some fire ass answers to, and you left me alone. So go ahead and cut my feed, because I'm leaving your ass alone after I said that. So Danny, why take the easy way out in your retirement?
There was like, oh my God. Take it away.
So yeah. So here's what I always want to leave the business better than what I came into it with. And picking the bishop, I don't think it's going to be an easy thing. It's going to be pretty hard, but I hope whatever happens, he takes this knowledge with him and grows with it. Whether he beats me or if I win, I want him to take this little bit of experience and go as far as he can go with it. That's the reason I chose him. He seems eager to listen and learn. And he probably got a lot of what I've got when I first got in the business, is that you're not going to make it. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. I would love to be able to encourage him through this whole thing. So
the thing is,
that's where I'm at on it.
And I appreciate that. But the thing is, though, ever since this match was first announced, I've been hearing what I've been hearing for the last 2 years. You have no chance. You have no business lacing up your boots to go against a legend, a Gulf Coast legend like Danny Rolin. He's going to squash you. He's going to murder you. He's going to kiss. I'll kiss my left cheek with that stuff. It's not going to be easy. People who say it's going to be easy,
here's the deal, Bishop. Crazy. You can use that as fire and prove to your people, your friends, whoever that is, your peers, use that as fire and move on up the ladder. Or you can let that defy you and be like, well, I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. I chose you because I see a little something in you, Ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm not looking to lose, but I'm not looking for a stepping stone. And I think you're looking for the stepping stone.
Well, no, sir. That's where you're wrong. I'm not looking for a stepping stone. What I'm looking for is I told you so. People who discount me and people who have told me I will never amount to nothing, whether I win or lose, I'm going to do it looking good. I'm going to do it with all the fire and all the desire. I want to be able to tell my 2-year-old granddaughter, don't ever let anybody tell you what you can't do. Don't ever let anybody discount your talent or your abilities because of your lack of experience. You have 20-some years in the game. I have right at 2 years. So experience factor is not even close. But what I lack in experience, I make up in fire. What I lack in experience, I make up with desire. What I lack in experience, I make up with guts and determination. Well, I'm not looking for a stepping stone. No, I'm not looking for a stepping stone. This is a learning opportunity. This is a very important learning. I tell my wife all the time, this is the biggest match of my career because it can either make me or break me. It could send me into an early retirement.
The biggest match of my career.
It could send me into an early retirement, or it can launch me into the next atmosphere, the next stratosphere. Yeah. Either way it goes, I'm gonna get in there, and it's gonna be two big men throwing hands and putting on the show. Now, whether I win, lose, or draw, I'm still going to learn from this situation. I don't plan on sitting there and saying, "Hey, I beat Danny Rolin. Now I'm the best thing in the world." No, in the world of wrestling, you never stop learning. Those guys who are in the indie circuit who think they have made it because they had a big win, or that they don't need to train anymore, they don't need to work anymore, those are fools. If I win this match, I'm not going to go and go sit in my rocking chair and sip lemonade all day. I'm going to get back in the gym the very next day and work even harder to be even better my next time out.
And gentlemen, the queen is now moving on the chessboard. So allow me to interject.
Yeah.
I am taking advantage of this moment because you, sir, even though I had to step away for a brief moment, I've heard you say the words who I have heard this. And Bishop, you can back me up. I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't deserve my recognition, but I have heard those words. I'm going to leave blah, blah, blah better than what I have, that I found it. You're not the first person to say those words. And I'm going to
No.
tell you something. I hope do not interrupt me. You are not going to be the last. But I have to go ahead and say, what is it exactly are you going to make better by taking somebody who is green versus somebody who is supposed to be well-versed and think that you're going to make it better, besides the fact that you think you're going to school a person or you're going to school those who are watching? But let me tell you this. I do believe you are underestimating him. But in the same breath as I say that, I do believe that you do see something in him, because obviously others see something in him as well. Otherwise, he wouldn't get booked. But I have also seen this man get attacked. I have seen him get attacked because he came into this industry as late as he has. I've seen him get attacked because of his height, his weight, the way he looks, his age, whatever. Put it out on the table, because let's face it, society will attack you at any weakness they can find. But I will also say this. This gentleman right here who is standing in front of you so confidently, accepting your challenge at this retirement match, knowing that he could definitely take you on no matter what experience you have or what experience you could have had. Because even though he is doing it so late in his career, he is taking it on with more aggression than anybody else who has started it, whether it was at 18, 21, 25, 29. But he is coming at it wholeheartedly, and he is living it up day by day. He is doing what all of those other individuals who have started as young as they have, as young as you have, sir, with more aggression to go ahead and produce an outcome that could have been something more noteworthy than any other career, including your own, because let's face it, you're ending in the Indies, probably ending in the Indies way earlier than most people who have definitely made it. He is doing it wholeheartedly because he knows that he started late, and this is nothing that you should take for granted. And I believe that is why he takes on so much hate. And I believe that is why you chose him, because it was, again, the easy way out. And you are mocking the heart that he is bringing to this. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I'm not mocking his heart, because I was in his shoes. No, I wasn't in his shoes exactly, but I was in his shoes when people told me I couldn't do what I wanted to do.
And when did that happen?
All right. And my whole life, I've been told I couldn't do something my whole life up until today. I was told I can't do something.
And what did you do to contradict their sayings?
I did it.
What did you do? What do you have that someone can look up today and show that you have a background with? What do you have to stand on besides your word?
Look, I went back to school and educated myself in my 30s.
I'm not talking about school. I'm talking about the wrestling industry.
What do I have to back up? You said, what do I have to back up?
Well, then let me be more specific, because I don't care about school education. I'm talking about the wrestling industry. I'm a wrestling podcaster.
Okay. So you're saying that I'm mocking this guy, making fun of his ability.
Yes.
I mean, I could have chose anybody.
You could have
chose anybody to wrestle. I could have chose my mentor himself to wrestle.
Yeah. I don't you keep calling him your mentor, not your trainer. Why is that?
Because he is a mentor. He's a mentor in my life. He was a part of my life that he mentored. The wrestling business. I have a spiritual mentor that led me to where I needed to be on a spiritual road.
Mm-hmm.
You know? so at the end of the day, my whole outcome of this, I have a job, I have a physical job, and when I take people underneath my wing to train and do so, I want to be able to have confidence enough that people get better, not just
So
because
that's
they
what your
didn't
hope is
rise
for the
underneath.
bishop. You see him as a
What's
case
that?
that needs to get better, and again, you want to school him.
No, I don't want to school him. I want him to learn. I don't want to have to teach
Well,
him
don't
stuff.
we
I want
learn
him
in
to learn on his
school?
own. What's that?
Do we not learn in school? Is that not the purpose of education?
You don't have to go to school to learn. I mean, you can look out your window and learn stuff.
That's right. So we have to go to the square circle
Everything
with someone just as you who are claiming that you have enough standing to not only beat him, but educate him on something. So let me ask you, what is it exactly that you are hoping to educate him the most on when you supposedly beat him on Saturday?
Well, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna beat him on. I mean, who said I was gonna beat him?
Not me.
That's what I'm saying. You said when I beat him on Saturday. I'm not saying I'm gonna win, lose, or draw. I'm walking away from the business. Period. I don't want to do it no more. I'm doing this as to.
Then if you don't walk in confidently,
fans.
why do it at all?
I mean, I feel like I can hold my own in a ring.
But you're not confident that you can beat him?
Things can happen. I mean, there's things happen. We had COVID. Things happen that nobody saw coming, you know? So, I mean, things happen. And when you know, you don't go into something 100%, never. I mean, you want a good outcome. I hope for a good outcome. But who's to say I don't slip and fall, or I don't do something and mess up a move? I hurt myself. I mean, 1, 2, 3 is real quick. You know, it can happen to anybody. You know.
No, it sounds like the confidence is dwindling against the veteran versus the newbie here. Tori, are we all caught up in chat? Well, let's catch up in chat before we continue, sir.
Many times I love whenever we went ahead and we brought Bishop into the chat and onto the live stream right off the bat. I love how Darnell's first reaction was, uh-oh. He knew it was going to get crazy right off the bat. Eric MacArthur's in here saying nobody messes with the Bishop, saying well said. We love that the chat then spun into poor Tori, as soon as you left me. They were aware that you were putting me in a situation like Eric MacArthur, Christopher Hall.
She left me first, and she knows that when you fuck with Veronica, I come at you with both horns. My halo broke into 2 horns for a reason, and I intend to use them.
Exactly. Eric saying very well said, Veronica. You make a very good point about everything you said. That was about whenever you were breaking down the 2 individuals. Christopher Holsinger said, age is just a number. Mentality and willpower is what truly matters. And Christopher said, in a retirement match, it's truly about the warrior that's retiring you, not about you. So it should be the upbringing of the Bishop. Then we had Mario Mancini popping back into our chat, saying, I wrestled at 52. I was 20% of what I was. Here's the deal. The hype is good, but you have to bring it for the fans.
That's right. And that's just it. My chat is not wrong. Whether it is bringing it for the fan, whether it is the upholding of those who, no matter what age they come into this industry, you are bowing out. He is coming at it full force. This is a match that should have everybody on the edge of their seat because nobody knows what's going to happen. And that is exactly why I wanted both of you gentlemen on my show tonight, because there is no certainty, no matter if you want to look to the left or if you want to look to the right. I know it was reversed because cameras, whatever. I have no idea what I look like besides I'm waving my hands. But the fact remains, nobody knows. And that is exactly why you two need to be heard. And I'm not going to interrupt you anymore. I want you to throw this match down. I want to know why people should be looking for the highlights, where they can find it. afterwards because I'm pretty sure it's not going to be streamed live. Although if I was there, let me tell you something. This right here is an event that my ass would be so far in your faces with a camera, you'd get tired of me because both of you need to be seen on screen. So what's going to happen on Saturday? That's what I know. You both have been so nice to each other. That's bullshit. You need to beat him because you are on the way out. You need to beat him because you are on your way in. What the hell are you two going to do about it? Impress me.
Damn.
Here, this is the thing. When the match goes down, I'm going to bring 54 years of frustration of being told by my own father I would never amount to anything. I'm going to bring on 54 years of frustration by my own school teachers, my own cousins telling me, John, you will never amount to, although you love wrestling, you'll never be big enough or you'll never be bad enough to get in that ring and to fight. I'm bringing 54 years of proving to not just myself, but to others that whenever you discount me, whenever you tell the bishop what he can't do, damn it, I'm going to do everything to prove you wrong. And this is the thing. I don't discount experience. Experience is how I got to be where I am today. I am coming with fire, with vengeance, with frustration, and I'm turning all that around into a positive. Because you see, diamonds are created when a piece of coal comes under extreme pressure and extreme heat. I'm going into that ring as a piece of coal. I'm coming out shining like a diamond. I'm going into that ring like an alley cat. I'm coming out like Mufasa. I'm coming to you're going to see a morph, a change, a twist of fate, so to speak. And the man I am when I come out is going to be different than the man I am going in. I have been training like crazy. I get up every morning at 5 o'clock and I go for a run. After I get done with my run, I go to the gym and I lift for 2 hours. I am getting ready. I'm training my mind, my body, and my soul for this match. This is the biggest thing that has happened to me in my entire life, and I'm not taking this lightly. I am bringing every ounce of this 345 pounds, and when I get into the square circle, Mr. Rolin is going to experience every bit of frustration I've had to deal with my whole life. Because I want to set the example for my children and for my future grandchildren that you don't ever let anybody take you for granted. And for people who in my own industry who have said, John, Bishop, you can't do this because of you. People have told me you should be watching wrestling and not competing in it. Well, you kiss my behind when it comes to that. When I get out of this after this match, I will get so much respect from people that told me I was nothing. I'm gonna come home, like I said, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna ice down, and I'm gonna get right back up the next morning sore or hurting or whatever, and get back into the gym. Why? Because I want to. Because I want to be even better the next time I step in the square circle. So I hope you bring your A game, Mr. Rolin. I really hope you bring your A game.
And before I am gonna interject here because Bishop, I love it. I love the passion. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate here because Mr. Rolin, I know you see this. I know you see all that he's bringing. And sir, I know you've seen it before, but I know you are not a blind man, just like I am not a blind woman. A lot of his confidence comes from insecurity. And I know with your background, you know how to just manipulate that. Now, sir, tell me how you're going to come even stronger using just that.
I'm going to make it short and sweet.
Yes, sir.
I've been around for a while. I'm 50 years old. And it's real. I want you to listen to the words I'm saying, Bishop. It's my last chance to whip somebody's ass. I said somebody, not nobody. Somebody's ass. And I just hate that you're stepping in that 20-foot by 20-foot ring. I'm not saying it's going to be yours, but I'm saying when the bell rings, I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. because pillar to
Bro, I'm ready
post
now.
is going to be a.
We
it's
don't
gonna
have
be
to
all
wait till the
day.
bell rings. I'm ready now. If you were anywhere near me or I was anywhere near you, we can ring the bell now and we can fight all the way until Saturday. I'm ready now.
Well-
when I wake up in the morning, I'm ready. When I go to work, I'm ready. When I go to bed at night next to my wife, I'm ready. I stay ready so I don't have to get ready. If you want to we can get together now and throw hands. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. And we can fight all day and night until Saturday because in Atmore, Alabama, I'm putting you down in front of your own people.
Hey man, I love the fire, and I hope you bring that same fire come Saturday.
Oh, it'll be here. Trust me, it'll be there.
Because like I said, it's my last chance to whip somebody's ass.
Danny Rolin, you couldn't whoop half my ass if the other half was helping you, sir.
Well,
We'll see.
I guess we'll see.
Yes, sir.
I'll
We will.
tell you,
It,
Miss
ladies and
Veronica,
gentlemen.
Miss
That's what
Veronica,
it boils down to.
y'all can check it out. It will be live streamed on
Okay.
State Line Pond LLC Facebook page.
There you go. Say,
It'll be
honey, say
live
it one
streamed
more
there.
time. Say it
Last
one more
year.
State
time.
Line Pond LLC Facebook page. It'll be live streamed, and everybody can check it out, and we can see how half his ass shows up and the other half doesn't.
I love it. Please make sure, Mr. Rolin, that I get that link
I
so
will
that I
send
can
you a
share
link.
it on my page as well as the Sloanes.
I will send you a
Because
link, ma'am.
I promise you, every single one of my viewers is on the edge of their seat, just like I am. I have no idea how this match is about to go down, but I want to know. I won't be there. I can't be there, but I won't be there.
We'll be there.
Gentlemen, you have delivered just like I hoped you would. You have probably been two of the most finest guests I have ever had on my live exclusive show. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time
Thank
out
you
of
for
your
having
busy
me.
schedules, for being here to get it. And you, Danny, for allowing my viewers to know who you are, where you've been, and where you want to be. That is such a privilege to us. And we are forever grateful for you giving us the time of day. Bishop, thank you for returning, because you always say that we can bug you, and you always stand true to that. Viewers, I know you want to know what's going on. They're going to make sure we know exactly where you can tune in. The Sloanes are going to make sure that we expose the hell out of this shit. I'm sure I have gone over my PG-13 rating. I know, but that's just Veronica. So I apologize, but at the same time, you knew better when you tuned in. Okay. All right. So
Very true, very true.
I am going to let you two gentlemen go, because I feel it building, and the rest of it needs to be saved for Saturday night. I know I'm going to be watching. My viewers are going to be watching. You two are going to go in, balls to the wall, and I can't wait to see both of you in action. It is hot, hot, hot. We're going to be there. You should be there too. Get back to your beautiful families, and thank you for giving us the time of day.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
Oh my goodness.
Holy moly.
shit.
Holy moly. It was electric. I mean, it had the viewers going back and forth, well said, Bishop, well said, Bishop. I like the word of advice. Then we had people, Danny ain't messing around. He means business. I mean, they were jumping back and forth. They were all invested in it. Eric is saying this is a very interesting podcast, the best one that I've seen you guys do in a long time. Christopher Holsinger was great podcast, ladies. Glad I finally caught one. And man, for an episode for you to catch, that's for sure.
I'm telling you, if there was one to catch, it was these two gentlemen, right? I knew it. As soon as I heard this match was taking place, you can ask Tori. I said I needed to be there, and now I'm so excited to know that I don't have to be in Alabama because I can't. But we're gonna be there virtually, and you viewers need to be there too. So I'm gonna get that information from the Black Sheep himself. We're gonna make sure that you can be there along with us. I'm about ready to do a live watch party because
this is it. I know we're gonna be having the live stream up on one device. We're gonna be watching it. We're gonna be cheering. We're gonna be doing honestly these two, and then seeing them square off right now live, even if it was just with their words. I already know that when these two gentlemen step in that ring, step into that squared circle, it's going to be explosive. There's no
It's gonna
telling
be
how
fire.
it's going. Exactly. It's fire with fire, quite frankly. And it's
Wow.
hard to tell which way it is going to go.
Oh my goodness. Are we all caught up in chat? I gotta go for a walk. I gotta cool down. Like
I
I'm
know.
ready for this fight now. And it's
I
only
know.
Wednesday.
I love it. Let's see. Eric says, I can't wait for the 24th for the next live streams. He's already hyped for our Sloanes After Dark, where we're joined with Professor Bear, aka
Yes, we
from
are.
the Bear Thoughts. Then we've got Christopher Holsinger saying, much love. I like what you're doing here. Veronica, great job on challenging your guests. Tori, awesome job on keeping the chat involved. That's what it's all about. We got to get these guests fired up. We got to have you guys. I mean, you saw you can spin your questions in there. I mean, quite frankly,
Always.
if you want to give them shit, I know PG-13 is easy, but do it. That is what it's all about. You even get to test the guest and whoever. Eric saying, I love you both sexy ladies. We love you all too. Mwah.
We love you too. And speaking of love, I was so fired up about this whole entire episode that I completely forgot to give our sponsorship love to Kelly Fitness out of Chicago. I know the man is paying us to talk about him, and I didn't. I know. Thank God he's been with us from day one, because seriously, I don't know why he puts up with me, but he does. So huge sponsor shout out to Kelly Fitness out of Chicago. You have always given us love and support, more importantly, and money. But anyway, sorry, I didn't say that. But
Check them out. You know, you need a good fitness group to go to. You need a good gym. Kelly Fitness, Chicago, you're in the area, check them out. Again, gotta boost them. I still cannot believe we forgot to do it at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna hear about it. I know, but look at tonight was just so explosive. I'm sorry, Mr. Kelly.
We do apologize.
Sorry.
But we gave it to you here. You were in the intro. We still got you, but either way, you guys know what to do. Check them out. Again, so sorry, Mr. Kelly.
Oh my goodness, guys, but thank you so much for being here. It was an explosive interview, which I knew it was going to be. We're going to be live again on Friday with the Sloanes After Dark with my pop-up Professor Bear. Sorry.
Professor Bear, Veronica. It is Professor Bear. I don't know how many times I have to tell you. His name is Professor Bear.
Papa Bear.
And honestly, if you think Friday is the last time you've seen us, you were wrong, because have you been seeing May, Veronica? May is
stacked. May is stacked. We're already slipping into June. I don't have enough time, but I will always find time for all of our guests and all of you. We love you so much. It's time to go. I got to go for a walk.
We got to walk this
time here. All right.
Everyone's just saying good night, ladies. Everything can't wait. But bye, everyone, and we'll see y'all soon.
We'll see you soon. Bye, guys.